Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great day so far and welcome back to another Will I Buy It video. I feel like I've only just done one of these, but you know, products keep coming out willy-nilly and we need to talk about it, so let's get started. As always, I get all of my makeup tea from these accounts, so I will put them up on the screen for you. This is where it's at if you want to know about new releases, if you want the sneak peeks before anybody else. This is where I get all of my makeup tea and find out about all the new releases. So if you're not following them all already on Instagram, I would highly suggest you rectify that. So first up, these Pat McGrath liquid lipsticks. Oh my goodness, why does she keep doing this? Why does she hate us? Why does she hate us? I feel like we're all screaming, Pat, blushes, blushes, blushes. And then she released this picture and said something is coming. And tell me you don't see this picture and think it's blushes. She then posted something else again that said, I heard you asked for it, it's coming. And we're all like, it's blushes, it's blushes. I mean, look at it, these are blush pans. These are blush pans, aren't they? They're blushes, they're coming. And then it's liquid lipsticks. Crestfallen is the appropriate expression here. I was crushed. I haven't had a negative experience with her liquid lipsticks. I picked up a couple from the Divine Rose 2 collection and they're fine, but they're liquid lipsticks. I don't love liquid lipsticks. There are a million liquid lipsticks already out there. They're all horrible. I mean, they're not horrible, but you know what I mean. They don't feel nice on my lips, okay? And we already just had some. We just had some liquid lipsticks from you, Pat, and you got us all hyped up and we were convinced this time it was blush and then it was liquid lipsticks, and I couldn't be less excited about that. I won't be picking these up. You know me, liquid lipsticks. I've tried her formula. I wanted it to be amazing. I wanted it to be the liquid lipstick formula that changed my mind, that told me, you know what, some of these aren't that bad. Some of them are nice. We can get on board with them. But no, I mean, they weren't that bad. But they also weren't amazing. They also were not the liquid lipstick that told me, you want to prefer these over a bullet. I just don't. So that is an easy pass. This Jaclyn Hill collection, I was very interested in this. I love that she came out with a whole huge collection. I'm definitely willing to give the brand a chance. I haven't tried anything from the brand. Obviously it's sold exclusively on her website, which does ship to the UK. I did check it out during the launch day. It was $20 shipping to the UK and it didn't include any taxes, which means that we'll also get the charge. So you're going to be paying probably 40, maybe £50 to get whatever your order is here, depending on how much you order. So yeah, that kind of counts it out for me, unless it releases here somehow or she gets a UK website or UK stockist. But if not for that reason, then I would absolutely have picked up a couple of these bronzer blush duos. I love a bronzer blush duo. I love it. These look very, very nice. I like that there's a range going from fair to deep. I like all of that. There were definitely a couple of these I would have picked up, and I would like to try her highlight formula as well as the loose glowy powder. I would like to try that as well, but yeah, I'm not going to pay double for the privilege. The Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this slightly nervously because she's still refusing to acknowledge that the palette exists. So I saw this palette like a month ago, maybe a bit longer, something like 6 weeks ago, I think. Someone sent me the pictures of it, which again had leaked. Now, if you don't know, Natasha Denona products seem to get leaked every single time without fail. A bit like ABH launches as well, seem to get leaked every single time. Pat McGrath seems to be able to do it. You never know what Pat McGrath launch is before it comes out, before she tells you herself that it's, again, not blush. But I'm not bitter or anything. But every single time in Natasha Denona it gets leaked, and then, you know, people will say, oh, she's doing it on purpose, like, you know, she wants that to happen, she wants to build the hype. But when I posted saying that her palette was available on Selfridges, the Natasha Denona Instagram actually contacted me and asked me to remove my post. They were very friendly, very polite, very nicely done. I had no issues with it, but I have heard that they've actually threatened legal action against people for posting products like this that leak. So I don't think they are doing it on purpose, but I don't know what's going on. It seems like apparently some Sephora's had put this palette out on sale before Natasha had even told us it was coming, which is an utter disaster. I don't even know how that happens, but someone is in trouble. Someone messed up, put it that way. So anyway, luckily for us, a YouTuber got hold of this palette and now has swatches and everything up on her channel. So I will put her video and link her channel down below if you want to see it in action. Very, very helpful. When I first saw the picture of this, I was clearly not going to get. This is my worst nightmare. When I see this palette, I look at the colours. That's my worst nightmare. As far as like the colour, it's terrifying. That is, what am I going to do with that? I don't know what to do with that. Look at all the colours. It's madness. And I know for lots of people, this is like a dream come true, but for me, it's my worst nightmare. But having watched the video, seen the swatches and just had a little word with myself, I think I'm going to get this, and I'll tell you why. It's because of that exact reason. This is not my comfort zone. This is not anything I have in my collection, which is kind of hard to do these days. This is nothing I have tried before, these types of colours, and it offers me something different. And I have to think about not just me and my use, but my channel, and giving you guys variation and ideas and inspiration and variance. And so for that reason, I will definitely pick this up, assuming that it's coming here to the UK. I will definitely pick this up because it's just, I have nothing like it. And there are a good few shades in here that swatch differently to how they look. There's a couple of shades that just are absolutely stunning swatched that look differently to how they do in the palette. So I'm definitely think I'm going to pick this up and play with it and push myself out of my comfort zone because, you know, we've all got to do that occasionally. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Next up, the Viseart GP1, is that right? GP1X, is that what this is called? Yeah, the Grand Pro 1X eyeshadow palette. So they have previously the GP1, this is the GP1X, like the new edition. Now, I love Viseart. I love their whole attitude to feedback. I love the way they take things on board, and I love that they're honest about who and what their products are intended for. And I've seen them commenting and explaining that this palette is very much intended for pro makeup artists. That's why the whole palette is matte, and there's obviously a lot going, there's a lot in there. That's a lot to take in. For me, it's intimidating, it's a lot, it's overwhelming. And I just think for me, I won't use this. I need to have shimmers, I need to have variants, I need to have less number of pans because it intimidates me and it doesn't kind of store easily, and I just know that I won't reach for it for those reasons. But this palette isn't targeted to me, that's why. This palette is targeted and made for professional makeup artists. That doesn't mean if you're just a regular consumer and you love it that you can't buy it. Of course you can. Of course you can do whatever you like, it's your money, honey. But you know, I'm not the target market, and therefore they don't expect it to appeal to me. If it does, it's a bonus. And I saw them commenting on Instagram along those lines and really like saying, you know, we understand it's not going to be for everyone. We understand it's too much or it's too intimidating, or that generally consumers want, you know, more of a balance of mattes and shimmers and options, and it to be more like user-friendly for someone who isn't a professional, as far as it being easy to put looks together and things like that. So as much as actually, if this was like 50-50 shimmer matte, I 100% would have got this. I love the colours, the colour story, all of that stuff. And I know Viseart have quality shadows, but personally, this is just, it's too much for me. Next up, these Dior Quints, do we call them? Is that their official term? Now, I saw this on my friend Tavia's Instagram, and I was curious, particularly about the green one, because I just love a bit of green these days. I really enjoy it. If I'm going to do colour, it's generally, if it's not purple, it's greens. That's kind of there. That's my safe house when it comes to colour. And that green one instantly leaped out to me. Now, the swatches I've seen so far on Tavia's profile are slightly underwhelming. They didn't seem that exciting, to be honest. They looked a little too soft. They didn't look that rich and pigmented that I wanted, but I'm still really interested because sometimes things don't swatch that well and then they perform beautifully on the eyelid. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence, but I probably will pick up the green one because I have never tried Dior eyeshadows either. So, you know, as good a reason as any. Next up, these Urban Decay eyeshadow singles. I just don't buy singles anymore. I feel like Urban Decay continue to slightly lose their way a little bit, perhaps. I just don't. I know that some people will get these and love these, and that some people obviously do still use singles, but I think the majority, or it seems like these days everybody's kind of moving towards palettes and everyone brings out palettes. And so maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe it will be, you know, it's kind of ticking a box, or it's filling a gap where there isn't a lot of competition, where people are being forgotten about because they do love singles, but I am not one of them. So I will be skipping on these. I don't buy or use singles. If I do, they just sit in my drawer because I want to use a palette. I just prefer it. Next up, the Nars Face Dew. This I don't think is for me. I'm kind of leaving the door slightly ajar, because if I see people using it and this is not sticky and it is not like just wet, gross, then the door is still ajar. It's slightly ajar, it's still open, but I'm still a little bit scarred from the Mario highlight that looks very similar to this, but this is in like tube form. I'm instantly thinking this is going to be sticky. It's like a liquid highlight. It's got the word dew in it, which I love, but I've been tricked before by that word. Something is called dew and I'm like, yeah, and then it's all sticky and I don't like it. So yeah, I'm nervous that this is going to be sticky. It's going to lift up my base. It's going to move around. I'm not going to like it. But I'm also open to watching reviews and hearing about it and being proved wrong. So this is a maybe for me. Next up, the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. I was excited about this when I first saw it. I'm currently on tenterhooks because it's not here in the UK. If this had come out in the UK, I would have instantly snatched it up. I am very interested in this. I definitely want it at this current moment, but it has released like everywhere but here. So that's sad. But at the same time, when this happens, it does give us the luxury of time and the luxury of watching 100 reviews before we purchase it, because I can't get it early to get my review up and in the mix. I can't get in there because we don't have it here in the UK. So I get to watch everybody else do their reviews, and then I can make an informed decision as to whether this is worth a try, whether this is going to be better than what I already have. The one thing that I'm slightly confused about is it appears to only have 16 shades, and like I said, I'm not really sure where this is available, whether there's more shades coming or this is it. What it looks like is that they've just kept the neutrals and a couple of warm shades. I think after like 3, so Dior shade range goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes, I think it's neutral, and then there were olive shades in their backstage range, neutral, cool, warm. So it seems like they've got a couple of warms in the lighter shades and then everything is just the neutrals. So it seems to be fairly even across the range of light to deep, but there aren't very many warm or cool tones. It's all neutrals. So that's how they've condensed their shades, which I'd much rather, if they're going to have a limited shade range, they do it that way than just eliminating the entire deep range. But at the same time, it's not very helpful because we're not all neutral. So that's a slight problem. But if I can get a shade that will work for me and it comes out here anytime soon, I'm definitely in the market for it. Next up, the Fenty Beauty Body Sauce. This is a straight no. This is an easy pass for me. I don't use body products. I mean, I use deodorant and shower gel, but that's about it. Maybe some moisturiser, SPF in the summer. That's about it for my the bod. That's all. I just let it hang out, do its thing. I'm not into putting shimmery or glowy or tanning or bronzing products on my bod because one, I'm just lazy. I don't like it getting on my clothes. It's time, I spend enough time on the face. Sometimes I throw a hairband in. Now you're telling me I've got to do stuff to the body as well. I haven't got the energy, to be honest, for it. So this is an easy pass. And last but not least, these Hermes blushes. Oh, now my first impressions of these were glorious, gorgeous packaging. Blush, yes. Hermes, yes. I always want to say Hermes, but that is a delivery company and I don't think they'd make very good blush. They're much more likely to just leave my parcel outside of the shed instead of inside, so I wouldn't trust them to make makeup, to be honest. But Hermes so far done very, very well in the makeup market with their lipsticks. I don't know if they're anything else from them so far. I think it's just lipsticks, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what else they have. I haven't tried the brand yet. These blushes look stunning. Of course, they're going to be like £4,000 each, presumably, but they look stunning. The packaging looks stunning. I love the range of shades. But then, I mean, it looks like they've got some lighter shades, some deeper shades, some in the middle, grey, you know, something for, they've got a peachy, a pinky, a bronze. There looks like there's some great options. But then I saw the swatches, and I mean, they all look so light and lacking of pigment and lacking of range. So that made me go, oh, wait, what's happened? But again, it's hard to know from these arm swatches. Perhaps they're more pigmented than they appear. Perhaps actually using them on the cheek, they're much more buildable. We don't know. We're going to have to wait for the reviews to start coming in and seeing people actually using them. But they look stunning. I'm definitely, the door is wide open when it comes to these. It's just up to them to walk through. Make me buy you. So there you have it. Let me just check there's nothing else that's come out while I'm literally making this video, because that happens to me every time. No, I think we're pretty much up to date. So there you have it. Those are all of the new releases or upcoming releases that I am interested in, or not so much. Please let us know what you've got your sneaky little eye on in the comments section down below. We would love to know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.